Alright, I wanted to talk about Nemesis plate / retro nightmare. And I wanted to talk about the dodgelash modes. I use it for dodgelash all the time. In fact, I think it's underrated. I know everybody sort of creams their pants over the backlash, but I think the dodgelash mode is underrated. And there's a few ways you can go about using Nemesis plate, but I usually use it not always, but I usually use it more as a support armor. I typically don't play this game making sure I have all my elements covered, because I'm usually dodging or choking or panicking monsters. So I've never really felt like, since Prime Chaos Orb came out, and the ability to stack some of these effects, that's necessary 99% of the game. But typically what I do, so you have to understand that level 150 monster with a main stat and luck is going to have an 85% accuracy. So in order to become unhittable, because dodging is linear, so every one blind, one MRM boost, etc., it means that that's 1% off of their accuracy. So as long as you get 86 points of dodge, you're no longer hittable, unless the monster has like a BTH lean or an auto hit attack. And you're not going to know about the BTH leans typically, but you'll notice the auto hit attacks and stuff. So I want to just do a basic thing here, make sure to kind of demonstrate kind of everything that I do rolled in. So let's see, your guest goes twice. I guess the pet didn't go twice. Let's see. Alright, so with no stat boosts, I have plus 78.74. So that leaves about, now this is not a level 150 monster, but that leaves, assuming that that's a level 150 pure monster, that would leave around a 7, maybe 6% chance to hit me, which is pretty low, but there is a chance. But these dual buns have an out-leveling formula. So what I do is then I grab Summoning Stone, and that gives me Charisma and Luck. The Charisma will then push this to, let's see here, 85, so you're basically there. But it's actually more because you're going to get a little bit more due to the luck that's here. This also assumes a 66 MRM with your shield and armor. In this case, I have 66 or more in all three of these. So 85 is plenty. In fact, for range, it would be, I could have like 75, 74 and be just fine. Okay, so one way you can go, so I have dual bun barrets here, and this is a status in which the defense boost, even though it says 0 rounds, remains. So to demonstrate, it remains once the monster goes, assuming that it survives right here. So it's still there. Alright, so it died. Alright, so let's go back. And so one way to use this setup to support Nemesis is pretty obvious here. You're just going to attack with it. Hopefully it'll go twice. get your dodge. And then for a turn, you could swap. If you could swap to a nuke armor, whatever you want. Let's see, I'll attack again. And I want you to see how that MRM boost will still be there. But will be, probably can't hit me. As you can see, it's miss, and you dodge lash. So what you could do then is, once that's there, these guys will, okay, this time it's just the guest. Once again, let's do it again. Alright, so now what I'm going to do in the next turn is you just swap to Nemesis. Turn on your intensity. And then if you wanted to, do something else. So you're going to get the dodge lash from the shield, the armor, and the misc, which will result in a little bit better dodge lash. As you can see, it was about 2,000 damage. So that's one way you can go. It's just you can boost your MRM and then swap out your pet and guest for something else. If you wanted to nuke, you could nuke. Now, here's this fucking guy again. To actually bring out the pet. I'm just going to end this fight quick because this guy's resistance is bullshit. Hopefully get a better monster this next turn. I think the last video I did, this fucking guy showed up in my random battles. But as you could see there, by just swapping to Nemesis after one round of Bard of War, resulted in a 2,000 damage dodge lash. Another way you can go, I hate the initiative formula change where you basically can't win initiative unless you train more than one main stat. You can kind of combine some effects. So maybe what you could do, so in this case, let's do Shadow Feeder, but instead of bolstering your def boost with, this is what you're going to do. You're going to try and combine some features. So that should give me 30. And then from here, I'm going to use Mandate. Hopefully it will blind. I did Celerity, so maybe it'll go twice. So it worked once there. So we have 84 blind. And I just did the 30 def boost to sort of as a extra just in case. What's nice about going the Mandate route and then healing my my MP and SP, and so I know I'm not going to be able to be hit at this point. So then what I can do from here is utilize the skill in which gives you celerity and him celerity. So you're going to just go twice. I'm not worried about the small damage here. So now the frost giant's going to go twice, and it's going to essentially fuck itself up. As you can see, I'm going to go twice, and it just, for all intents and purposes, it killed itself. So that's another way. And the reason I'm trying to show this off is some people might argue because Nemesis doesn't inherently block well, that therefore the dodge lash is not good, or it's not worth utilizing. Yeah, you have to manufacture, unlike other armors, but that's simple enough in this game, I think. Another way you could go is just use your bunnies, and then just use Havarti Blade, probably the most underrated charisma weapon in the game. It's got a 50% proc, so you just hope that it procs. So you're going to get hit some, so it didn't proc that time, so it missed both attacks there, even though it didn't proc. Let's see what happens this time. Didn't proc. So you're still getting, in this case, 42 blocking. So it's still drastically reducing blocking. This is going to be a lower level monster, so its accuracy is going to be lower. So it procced this time, so I'm fine. Now at this point, I could probably swap to something else, like normal. And then you could also just cast your blind spells, not worry about getting the bunny celerity. So you're basically getting 40 something from bunny and maybe a couple of casts of the mandate. Now, here's how I like to use, this is my favorite setup of all here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually get one round of celerity from Shadow Feeder Pendant. So I'm going to be able to go twice with Bard of War, which is also going to give the pet guest celerity. But I'm also going to be swinging with Havarti Blade, and it may also give me celerity. If I am super lucky, after these two attacks, I will end up with upwards of 5 rounds of pet and guest celerity. Okay? So from here, let's see what happens. It may not happen, but we'll see what happens. So it procced. So now I have 3 there. See what happens here. It procced again. So in this instance, I did get 5. So now we're down to 4. So from here, I have 4 rounds of guaranteed pet and guest celerity that's already accounted for. So I know I'm not going to be hit for the next 4 rounds. So I'll basically, everything's kind of smooth sailing from here. I can use any weapon I want, do whatever I want. Typically, I continue to swing away with Havarti Blade because the dodge lash amount will be so high. Because I am using Nemesis, I could maybe use Prime Chaos Orb. It got Ice Element to a little bit more favorable number. And then I can just attack with this and see if I get even more rounds, which I got lucky that time and did. And one of the cool things about this misc right here. So I'm out of SP here. So instead of Summoning Stone, I'm going to use the Gauranteed misc, which will heal my hit points based on blocking, which I know I'm going to block it. So this should be 300 and something hit point heals per round, as you'll see, 322. So it's basically a heal loop. I ate into my hit points to heal SP. I'm going to dodge. As you can see, I'm healing while I'm dodging. And so the value of this misc is if I know I'm not going to get a heal the next round, like if I'm in a quest, I can just use it instead. And again, it's just a heal loop. Keep swinging away with a Vardy blade. Hopefully it procs, and just have multiple rounds. So again, those armors are extremely strong for dodge lash. You just have to generate the ability to not get hit. Charisma is the best way to go. Utilizing Bard of War, Vardy blade, Shadow Feeder pendant. If you wanted to use Shadow Feeder pendant every round and then use Gauranteed misc to kind of pay that back all the time instead of damaging the monster, you can do that. All in all, dodging is super simple. Dodge lash is super strong, and those are just some easy ways to utilize dodge. I literally did that in Gwen's Gauntlet for most of it. It was a breeze. You don't have to train endurance. You don't need endurance in this game. It's not needed at all. It only helps healing 5%, which is nothing. So at the end of the day, I recommend Nemesis armor. I recommend it over Retro Nightmare because the animation's faster on the attack. They do the same thing, but anyway, those are some quick and simple ways to get yourself some dodging, and then makes probably 98% of the game super simple. Even bosses are super simple that way. If you do get hit, you can just heal. If I would recommend to everybody to get the Gauranteed misc if you're going to play a dodge style. I think it's top of the line misc, S tier misc for that play style. But there you have it. Just wanted to kind of showcase that because I see a lot of comments about the backlash portion of Nemesis, and I've been saying that the dodge lash is actually super strong, and I actually prefer using that mode. And I was just showing it kind of how I use it and why it's as strong as it is.